The first thing that's important to understand is that, because of how new the crypto Internet of Value still is in its life cycle, crypto should be generally considered as a high-risk investment class. I think of it as very similar to the stock or equity market in this regard. There are relatively safer stocks and more risky or volatile ones. There are also extremely volatile penny stocks and options that are nowadays freely available to investors of all sorts. The truth is, the volatility of the very largest crypto assets is not that much more extreme than what you might see in the traditional stock market. But how do we differentiate between higher risk crypto assets and lower risk ones? To do this, we're going to use a tool. This is one of my favorite free crypto information sites, CoinGecko. What we're looking at here is a list of every crypto asset currently in the ecosystem. This list is ranked by market capitalization, which we get from simply multiplying the current price of the coin with the total circulating supply. Not total supply, circulating supply. That's the amount of supply that's available now on the market. Now, the first thing I want to draw your attention to is that, as you can see here, there are well over 7,000 different cryptos and counting. We can also see that Bitcoin makes up a little over 40% of the total market cap for all of crypto, and Ethereum is an additional 16%. That means that the top two together right now account for over 50% of investments in the crypto space. A quick and pretty darn accurate shortcut for thinking about risk is to judge based on market cap. After all, this is a very new technology space, and projects with larger market capitalizations have more overall investment, which relates to stronger confidence from the market. So this is a good indication. As we can see, Bitcoin is far and away number one in market cap at over $1 trillion. Bitcoin is the least risky. Next is Ethereum with about 1/3 of the market cap. So Ethereum is the second least risky, but it has a good deal more risk than Bitcoin. Then there is another gulf of around 5 times before we hit number 3 on the list. And the next few after that start clustering pretty closely together. I tend to think of numbers 3 through 30 or so as being medium to high risk. Again, a lot more risk than Ethereum or Bitcoin. And then I really think of everything else, like numbers 30 through 7,000, let's say, as high risk. In general, if you're going to buy crypto assets outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and especially below numbers 50 or so, you really should not put in a very large allocation. Another way you should think about risk when investing in cryptos is, will it outperform Bitcoin? See, in investing, there's a concept called the risk-free rate. This is defined as the rate of return or appreciation that an investor can get while taking the minimum amount of risk in a market. If you make a return, but your return is under this risk-free rate, then really you haven't done that well. You would have been better off investing in the safest asset instead of taking extra risk without improving your return. In crypto, you should think of the risk-free rate as Bitcoin. After all, Bitcoin has the lowest amount of risk of any crypto and the longest and strongest performance track record. What this means is that if your other crypto investments aren't beating the less risky returns of Bitcoin, and most don't, you probably should just be in Bitcoin instead. Now, there will be some coins on this list that do outperform Bitcoin in the short term, maybe even in the long term. But picking these is very difficult. That said, since this industry is so early, there are and there will be some amazing opportunities in these smaller coins. I have ridden a few of these to spectacular returns that did outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum and really helped me reach my goals. And I think that with the proper tools, you can too. So how then should you actually go about investing in any of these other coins anyway? We'll get into this a lot more in depth. First though, we're going to start by learning why they exist anyway and what they actually do.